in the blinding white expanse of the Nevada Salt Flats, where the heat turns the horizon into a mirage, lived a man named Gideon. To the billionaire car collectors and the tech moguls of Silicon Valley, Gideon was a ghost. He was the quiet mechanic who ran a dusty garage on the edge of the desert, fixing old muscle cars. They saw his grease-stained hands and his worn-out boots, but they didn't see the aerodynamic savant who had actually designed the Vortex wing, the only technology capable of keeping a car on the ground at 350 miles per hour. 9 years ago, Gideon made a sacrifice that left him in the dust. He gave his revolutionary airflow blueprint to his business partner, Roxanne. He did it so she could secure the funding to save their struggling automotive startup. He thought they were building a legacy of speed together. He was wrong. Today, Roxanne is the queen of velocity, the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar hypercar empire, about to break the world land speed record in the Apex 5 on live global television. But as the speedometer crosses 330 miles per hour, a terrifying vibration shakes the carbon fiber chassis. A man picks up a modified radio transmitter in his dusty garage. He isn't here to cheer for her. He's here to show the world that while Roxanne stole the engine, he is the only one who controls the wind. The story begins in a dark, freezing wind tunnel in Detroit back in 2017. Gideon and Roxanne were 30 years old, surviving on energy drinks and absolute obsession. Gideon was a genius of fluid dynamics. He could look at a piece of metal and tell you exactly how the air would wrap around it. Roxanne was a master of marketing. She knew how to make a piece of metal look like $1 billion. They had spent 5 years designing a hypercar that could break the laws of friction. One desperate night, a massive tech conglomerate offered $50 million for the patent to Gideon's Vortex wing, a dynamic aerofoil that adjusted its angle every millisecond to create infinite downforce. Gideon refused to sell. He knew the software still had a critical glitch at extreme temperatures, but Roxanne's eyes were blinded by the money. She waited until Gideon was asleep, copied the encrypted blueprints, locked him out of the company servers, and sold the patent exclusively under her own name. When Gideon woke up, he found a termination letter and a non-disclosure agreement. Roxanne told him over a brief phone call, "Gideon, you're a brilliant mechanic, but you're a perfectionist. The market doesn't wait for perfection, it waits for a product. I'm giving this car the runway it deserves." She left him in the shadows, taking his life's work into the fast lane. As the years accelerated, the roar of the past began to change. Slow down here. The heavy, aggressive growl of the V8 combustion engines in Gideon's old garage faded into the high-pitched, silent whine of Roxanne's modern electric hypermotors. Gideon watched Roxanne's face move from the back pages of auto magazines to the glowing covers of Forbes and Motor Trend. Roxanne built an empire on the Apex series. She became a billionaire, selling cars to royalty and movie stars. Gideon spent those 9 years in total silence. He didn't file a lawsuit. He didn't go to the press. He just stayed in his desert garage, quietly building a radio tower out of scrap metal, waiting. Because Gideon knew a secret about the laws of aerodynamics that Roxanne's luxury designers couldn't comprehend. He was at his now 2026. The scene is the Nevada Salt Flats. Millions of people are watching the live stream. Roxanne is sitting in the passenger seat of the Apex Vi, wearing a custom racing suit, sitting next to her lead test driver. She wanted to be in the car to prove she was the ultimate machine queen. The car is a flawless silver bullet. The countdown finishes. The electric motors unleash 3,000 horsepower. The car shoots across the white salt like a missile. 200 miles per hour, 250, 300. The crowd is cheering. Roxanne is smiling at the internal cabin camera. But as the digital speedometer hits 330, a terrifying sound echoes through the cabin. It starts as a low shudder, then a violent, high-frequency shake. The front tires begin to lose contact with the salt. The billion-dollar car is hydroplaning on the air itself. Panic erupts in the luxury command center. Roxanne's lead engineers are screaming into their headsets, confused. The Vortex wing is fully deployed. but the car is losing traction. The test driver tries to steer, but the steering wheel is completely dead. The car is literally floating a millimeter above the ground. Deploy the rear flaps. Give me downforce. Roxanne screams, her perfect image shattering in absolute terror. Suddenly, the encrypted radio channel in the car crackles to life. It isn't the command center. The rear flaps won't save you, Roxanne. Gideon's voice echoes through the cabin speakers, calm and unstoppable. If you deploy them now, the back end will snap, and you will barrel roll for 2 miles. Roxanne stares at the dashboard camera, her face pale. Gideon, how did you bypass the comms? Get off this frequency. It's not a software glitch, Roxanne, Gideon says, his voice cutting through the violent shaking of the car. It's physics. Aerodynamic stall. Gideon has routed his radio signal to broadcast not just to the car, but to the live global feed. Millions of viewers are listening. 9 years ago, you stole the blueprint for the Vortex wing, Gideon explains, his voice steady as a rock. But you ignored the most important part of the design, the underbelly. The car hits 340. The violent shaking threatens to tear the chassis apart. You changed my textured carbon undercarriage to a flat, polished surface because it looked more premium for your billionaire clients, Gideon reveals. But at 340 miles per hour, that flat surface acts like an airplane wing. The air underneath the car is moving faster than the air on top. You aren't creating downforce, Roxanne. You are creating lift. The command center goes dead silent. The engineers look at their telemetry screens and realize Gideon is absolutely right. The car's turning into an airplane. At 350 miles per hour, the Apex V will literally take off, flip backward, and explode. The front wheels lift 2 inches off the ground. Gideon, please, Roxanne begs, crying on the live global broadcast, all her arrogance stripped away. Tell me how to stop. I'll give you the company. Just save us. Gideon looks at the horizon from his garage. He doesn't smile. There is only one way to break the vacuum beneath the car, Gideon says. You have to deploy the emergency drag chute and simultaneously cut the power to the front axle. It will destroy the motors. It will shred your multi-million-dollar transmission, and it will permanently disqualify the record. Roxanne hesitates. Destroying the powertrain means the total destruction of her company's stock and her reputation. It means admitting to the world that her perfect engineering was a fatal lie. You have 4 seconds, Roxanne, Gideon says. Choose the record or choose your life. Roxanne screams and slams her fist onto the emergency chute deploy button. The massive parachute explodes from the back of the car. The transmission rips itself apart with a deafening crunch. The car slams violently back onto the salt, skidding for a mile in a cloud of white dust before coming to a dead stop. In a world that is obsessed with looking fast, premium aesthetics, and breaking records, we often forget that physics cannot be fooled. Roxanne thought she could steal the blueprint of a genius and polish it to please the wealthy. She thought the world would only see the speed and never question the science. But Gideon taught us a different lesson. You can steal a design, but you can never steal the deep understanding of the elements. You can buy the patent, but you can't negotiate with the wind. Roxanne chose the image over the integrity, and her empire crashed at 300 miles per hour. Remember? A lie might accelerate quickly, but it will always lose traction at the top. Never compromise your authenticity, because eventually you will hit a speed where the glamour strips away, the turbulence hits, and only the truth keeps you on the ground. If this story reminded you that integrity is the only thing that keeps you grounded, type "grounded" in the comments and share this to honor the brilliant minds who respect the laws of nature.